Could you imagine seeing this character again?
It will blow people's minds and rock the foundation of the entire comic collecting community. The hottest 10 books in the world, kicking it off with Vengeance of Bane #1 from 1993. $2,000 in sales, trending above the recent 12-month average, the first appearance of Bane. Do you think Bane could beat Mike Tyson is the real question.
There's no freaking way Mike Tyson can beat Bane, but he can, I think, knock out another character on this list.
We have over $40,000 in sales collectively on this list across 70 different transactions. People be buying comic books, and they're buying this one specifically because of a rumor that there's going to be a live-action Bane, Deathstroke team-up by James Gunn at some point, but there's no validation to this just yet. And I will tell you, after the recent Penguin series on HBO Max, I'm all in on any villainous anything in the DCU, particularly the new DCU. The 9.6 had 4 copies outsell the recent 12-month average, the highest for an increase of 48% for 193, and that is a year high. The 9.8 had 3 different copies outsell the recent 12-month average, the highest for an increase of 25% for $366.
There's a massive fight this week, so let's run with this theme. Can Mike Tyson knock out Bane? Comment down below. I think I already know the answer. I think we see another broken back in the future if this happened. But N at number 9, Iron Man number 55. I have not seen this book on a list in a long time, but when you have the first appearance of Thanos, first appearance of Drax, first appearance of Thanos' brother Eros, you're going to have a book like this that's been undervalued for so long, like many Silver and Bronze Age keys, finally starting to move when you get the buzz of a potential return of Thanos to the MCU.
$3,000 worth of transactions across 5 different sales. With RDJ returning, no surprise that they'd be looking for maybe another super villain that was very popular on the screen, maybe one of the most popular of all time, Thanos. We also see that there is rumors that it will be a different version of Thanos, which is obvious, but which version it could be? Probably from the Donny Cates run. King Thanos, which debuted in Thanos number 13, who is also rumored to be incorporated into like the Disney Avengers ride theme park.
There's some decent percentage increase because we just saw a 2.5. So for $350, it's up 15%. The 8.0 is up 19% for an $818 sale. We had the 8.5 have a year-high sale up 19% for $975. Look, this is just a consistent thing. These books have been in the slump, and we're starting to see increases. And usually it's single digits. So to see 19% increase is actually really exciting. Real quick, just do yourself a solid and download the Key Collector app and put in code TOM101 to get a free 2-week subscription. An extremely useful app if you're out there hunting for books.
There are a lot of comic books worth money. There are even more comic books that are not worth money, and Key Collector separates them out for you so you can look at an entire list if you're going through a long box to know which the gems are.
And if you want to talk about a number gem, here at number 8, Daredevil #1. And I got to tell you, the buzz of this show is actually a little bit unbelievable because the excitement to see this character return and get this dark and gritty show, I mean, I get it, but I'm kind of tired of watching him constantly get his ass beat and like knocked out. This right here, I was mentioning, I prefaced earlier, Mike Tyson will knock out Daredevil. He could knock out Daredevil.
Let us know what you think about that in the comment section below. But we also got the first appearance of Foggy Nelson and Karen Page in here. And you actually moved to Daredevil 1 at New York, didn't you?
I did. And it's funny because it sat in a box for nearly the entire weekend. Okay, because I wasn't sure, do I sell it? Do I not sell it? I pulled it out. And I'm not joking. Within 15 minutes, that book was sold twice. One person who wanted it and another person who wanted it simultaneously. And they were both willing to pay the price for it. And I was like, this is awkward. What do I do here? All right. And it came down to a cash transaction or taking a credit card charge. So, a little tip. If you are out at a convention, have cash on hand because that might, just might be the decision maker of whether you come home with that book or not.
$16,000 across 4 lonely sales. The 2.5 is up 12%, 4.0 is up 4%, the 5.0 sold for $3,800, up 2%, and the 7.0 is up 7%, selling for $7,200. I think it's all because of the grittiness. It's more adult themed. With the recent success of Penguin, I hate to bring it back to that, but that was one of the best superhero anything, and it wasn't even a superhero show. It was a show about villains from the Batman's Rogues Gallery. It was like Sopranos in Gotham. And that shows that the adult audience needs to be served along the way. And I think Daredevil's going to fulfill that need.
In at 7, Voltron #1. 6 sales above the 12-month average for $1,067 spent on this book. An absolutely amazing animated cartoon that's captured the minds and hearts of so many adults now. So with a book like this and seeing sales continuously grow, and we're talking pretty high percentages for a book, and you can only assume when you have an animated show like Transformers and a book that sells aggressively and probably 3 times more than this book, that there's potentially a higher ceiling to it than what we're seeing. The 8.0 sold up 29% for an $81 sale. The 9.6 is up 48% with a $169 sale. The newsstand 9.6 sold for $240. That's a year-high sale, up 55%. And the 9.8 is up 49% for $375.
Unless we get a Batgirl situation where they film the whole movie and they like scrap the whole project because it's so bad, this is happening. And then they have Henry Cavill attached as the lead. I think that's all people needed to have a level of optimism for the book, to throw money down now and do some investing.
One more day.
Adi Granov, Uncanny X-Men #3, one of the most beautiful row covers of all time, guaranteed 1 per box. Gargoyles, 1 per box. ComicTom.com, link in the description. We'll send you comics every single month, and you support this video directly. #6 on the list, Uncanny X-Men 266, the first appearance of Gambit on our Hot 10, 13 different times this year. One of the few surviving key books to still be taking off post the release of Deadpool Wolverine. And I just went to Denver, right? We did this whole J. Scott Campbell stream on Whatnot. It was fantastic. Big thank you to that whole team. Thank you to J. Scott Campbell. It was amazing seeing him do so many signatures and selling the original arts that haven't been on the internet ever. It was a very humbling experience. I will say, when I was on the airplane to and from, I saw countless screens with Deadpool Wolverine on it.
That's fascinating to me because when you're stuck on a plane, and when I say stuck, you kind of almost feel captured. You know, you might have 2 big hairy arms next to you and you're just like, I gotta escape. And they're escaping into this movie, which why I'm saying it's so intriguing is that I'm assuming most of the people on the plane are general society. We're going past just collectors watching this. We're seeing people who are hearing the buzz from their friends. Oh, I need to watch this. So when we have that happening, we're continually seeing books on this list for that specific reason, because they're also capturing you more than just in the comic world, but outside of it as well.
I was walking to the bathroom. I was walking from the bathroom, stunned both ways. Looking over to my right, Hugh Jackman's on that screen. Looking to my left, Channing Tatum's on that screen. People going, why is he looking at my screens? I don't know. I have a show about comic books. Well, we have over $2,100 in sales and 10 different transactions. The 9.4 is up 6%. The 9.4 Newsy, 3 copies outsold the recent 12-month average. For the highest, at $300. That's an increase of 33%. The 9.6 sold for $240. That's an increase of 1%.
We have Predator hunting vampires. In at #5 is Predator #1. And I say that because this Predator project that's coming up, Badlands, is taking out, allegedly, the release of Blade.
That's right. Blade has been pulled. We have a live-action Predator movie coming next year, about a year from today. And not only that, there's a secret Predator film in the works, likely going to accompany the success of the Prey streaming movie that came out, which is a very great movie. I encourage everyone to check out. So that's 2 different reasons to spec on a book that has been absent on the Hot 10 for quite some time. And with the success of Alien Romulus, it makes sense why this book is looking prime to invest in.
This book was on the trending list 3 weeks ago and has escalated to a point now where it's actually on the Hot 10 because of the amounts that are selling of this book. Now, it isn't an extremely rare book, or even close to that. There's quite a few of this. The census has 3,217 slabs, 8 new ones in a 9.8 alone for 620 total copies already. So this book used to sell in 2021, like many, for 3-4 times what it's going for now. This was hitting $1,000 in a 9.8. But let's look at the numbers where we're at today. The 9.2 is up 60% for a year-high sale of $125. But the 9.4 sold for the same price, but that's up 17% from the previous 9.4 12-month average. The 9.6 is up 26% for $180, and the 9.8 up 5% for $475.
Now this next one, it's a little dicey because it's based off of leaked footage that we can't validate 100%. because we're seeing people's phone screens. We're seeing reviewers who are chopping AI into their coverage. So what's real, what's not? But we have at the list at number 4, Fantastic Four number 50. This is the second appearance of Galactus, third appearance of Silver Surfer. Johnny Storm goes to college. But it's also the first appearance of the weapon that takes Galactus down in the comic books, the Ultimate Nullifier. 7 sales, exceeding the recent 12-month average above $2,000. Did you see what I believe is real? The Galactus shot.
What the holy did we just see? Like, it's hard to believe what's out there with AI. I mean, like we just mentioned, Blades canceled, not canceled, back, not back, who the hell knows? But this looked legit.
If only 50% of what we've seen is legit, I'm so excited for this movie. It could be one of the best films that we've ever seen as far as superhero adaptations to the big screen.
This was another popular book at New York Comic Con, but somebody just overpaid because the 4.0 went for $312 for a year-high sale, which doesn't make sense considering that the 4.5 went for $247 with a 7% increase, and the 5.5 sold for $327 with a 4% increase. So for $100 more practically, you got a 1.5 higher grade.
The 6.5 went for $453 for an increase of 13%. Are you hyped about the Fantastic Four movie? Next on the list, at number 3, the first appearance of Mephisto. Silver Surfer number 3, and we didn't get Mephisto at the end of Agatha, and I don't think it mattered. I think this book would be way more aggressive if they showed a cameo or there was like a little bit more, but the fact that they mentioned Mephisto, I think, is all it took for people to say, you know what, this is likely coming now for sure.
People feel in their bones. They know this character is coming because how do you not have hell? We have deep space. We have multiverses. So to see hell coming, and we know what hell brings. Hell brings more of a backstory for Doom. Hell brings Ghost Rider. Hell brings Mephisto. And this book is not the easiest book to get in a decent grade. And we're seeing that with these numbers as they're escalating with every 0.2 to 0.5 increase on that scale of grading. We had 5 sales, only 5, reach $4,700 above the 12-month average.
The character reveal of Aubrey Plaza portraying death in the MCU, which, by the way, has ties to Thanos. It makes sense why people are starting to spec on the occult, the supernatural, the demonic. We have a 4.5, up 4%, a 6.5, up 11%, a 7.0 going for 480, up 5%, a 7.5, up 10%. And check this out, a 9.4 year-high sale, up 9% for a $2,950 sale. Hit the like and subscribe. We make this video every single week, keeping you up to date on the hottest comic books in the marketplace. Which brings us to number 2 on the list with Incredible Hulk 340. Todd McFarlane brilliance, and one of the hottest books in the world. And I think it has to do with the success of Deadpool Wolverine, of course, but also the success of just Todd McFarlane everything in 2024. He took over the collectible market.
10 sales, $3,000?
You called it. You said if you can get this book for around $900, people are going to be happy. I'm saying they're going to be happy today.
3 copies in 9.4 outsold the average. One up 26% for a $309 sale. The 9.6 sold for $360. The 9.8 average is $1,004, but we had a 12% increase for $1,120.
Did you pick up a Hulk 340 this year? Let me know what grade and what you paid for in the comment section below while we tell you about the number 1 hottest book back issue in the world. 16 different times landing on our Hot 10, and for the second consecutive week, landing at number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top of the list. Marvel Superheroes, Secret Wars, issue number 8. The origin of the symbiote suit. We have 8 different sales exceeding $3,800 worth of monies moved.
Just like last week, Spider Buzz continues. It is going to be nonstop in all of 2025. There is so much Spider hype coming and excitement for characters, whether good or evil. So to see this book on this list will not be the last time or second to last time. Get comfortable, guys, because it's going to be here a lot.
Spider-Man 4 is in the distance. We'll begin production early next year. That just means that we're going to be seeing rumors, leaks. I mean, what will Tom Holland accidentally spill in interviews? Probably need to buy some books sooner than later. And this one, worst case scenario, it's not going for that much over the 12-month average. And if you have it in your PC, people will be comfortable holding it because it's such an amazing key. The 9.4 is up 4%. The newsstand 9.4 is up 13%. The 9.8 sold for $523. That's up 5%. And the newsstand 9.8 clocked in a sale at $1,082. That's an increase of 9%. I don't think this book is going anywhere.
And neither should you, because we got to touch on this stuff before you leave this video. That more scarce versions of a more common book like this are moving as well, and they're moving at really strong numbers. And I'm talking Canadian price variants. I'm talking Mark Jewelers. Heck, if you can find a double or triple cover, grab it, because we just saw a record-breaking sale higher than the comic boom. Because in 2021, this book in a 9.4 Mark Jewelers sold for $486. It is now up 147% for $1,201.
Keep an eye out on DC Keys with James Gunn. Keep an eye out on the occult, the supernatural, specifically over at Marvel, Spider-Man, and scarce versions of keys. And of course, as always,
Geek responsibly.
enough said.